Ba-ding. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Thumbs up, it is Monday, it is raining, oh joy! Because today I walked to the hospital to get my second dose of antibiotics, and that is a good thing. My leg is looking still pretty good. It's still more swollen than my left. It is my left. Still more swollen than my right, but it doesn't look bad when I wake up, so thumbs up for that. Definitely a good thing. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, it'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And while I cannot put up the entire list of all of my Patreon patrons, here are 4 more beautiful and awesome Patreon patrons. I'm going through my list 4 at a time and thanking you all. It is greatly appreciated. If you would like to help me and my aging pet stay alive and become a Patreon patron, I have links in the video description along with a PayPal for possible donations and an Amazon wishlist link that I desperately have to update. Oh God, I love having executive dysfunction. So thumbs up, front-loading of videos over, and that sort of day. Thumbs up for that. I don't have a ton on my list over here, because yesterday was not a good day. I kept falling asleep. I didn't even go walkies last night. It was raining. I had a massive headache. I started developing a headache around 5-ish or so, and by 7 and 8 o'clock, it was horrible. By around 10, it had gone, but every beat of my heart, it was So that was great. So I stayed in and didn't do a lot. Joy. Still, I'm surviving, and I gotta make that walk up to the hospital. It's probably gonna be raining, so thumbs up for that. And then I'm gonna make the walk up to Walmart to do some shopping for some other things. Now, talking about health-wise stuff. I have stopped drinking sodas because I've mentioned before that if I know something is wrong, if I'm not actually addicted like when I was an active alcoholic, if I know something is wrong, I will not do it. Like I've mentioned before, if I know things are wrong to say, I will not say those wrong things. I don't want to hurt people's feelings unduly and such like that. If there are actions that I shouldn't take and I find out that I shouldn't do them, I will not do them. And there, with health things, when I found out you needed X amount of exercise per week to stay healthy, that's why I go walking every single day, because I need to stay healthy. And with the whole my kidneys ain't great, I have been listening to Nexor EH a lot with kidney stuff, and I've been trying to limit myself to like not much water comparatively, because I would drink sometimes 2-liter bottles of soda and my skin would still be dry. I figured, hey, that's probably the diuretic effect of the caffeine that I take. But no, not necessarily. I drank 2/3 of a gallon of just water yesterday, and I was thirsty all day. And you'd think, gosh, does that mean he's diabetic? No, my blood sugars are fine. My A1C is great. And I was showing more than just, oh gosh, I feel thirsty. No, yesterday at the end of the day, my skin was like sandpaper. It was scales. I was so dry, my skin was just dry. It's dry right now. I want to drink so much because I am dehydrated. If it was just a, gosh, I feel thirsty here, but the rest of my body was fine, that'd be one thing. But when I drank 2/3 of a gallon of water and my skin is still sandpaper dry, well, that ain't good for my skin. I'm still just pumping on tons of lotion and stuff to try and keep myself as moisturized as possible. But hokey smokes, I'm not quite sure what to do. I mean, I can't stress my kidneys by drinking huge amounts of water, but on the other hand, I don't want to stress my kidneys by being too dry. At the same time, You should always be checking your urine when you go and use the restroom to see how your kidneys are doing. And so far, I've been clear-ish. It hasn't been dark. There's no concentration. So that's good. But I should talk to somebody else. I have still been smelling that smell of blood occasionally when I do something. I will like breathe and then lean forward, smell blood, but then when I go to check, it's like breathe. Can I smell this? Like, is there blood? Can I smell blood anywhere? And I breathe and sniff and I can't smell blood anywhere. So I don't know. I smell weird things all the time. I don't know if I'm actually tasting or smelling blood or if I'm just having, oh, I smell or taste this, because I will go out walking and it will just smell like I am being inundated by a cloud of perfume out of nowhere. And I can't identify where that smell is coming from. So I don't know. I don't want to die horribly. I mean, I know we're all going to die, which includes me. So joy on that. I just don't want to die painfully, and I would like to live as long as is humanly possible. So I'm going to try and ask him stuff today. So yay, we shall see. Taking a look at the rest of my list. Now here's a weird one. For the longest time, when I woke up in the morning, I had the song Unholy Voices off of the game Blood that would run in my head. Just, I would wake up and instantly that song would be playing in my head as I was waking up. That hasn't been true for a while now, but this morning, for some weird reason, I woke up and the very first thought that I had is, if snitches get stitches, how come Takeshi 6ix9ine is still alive? Because if you remember, Takeshi 6ix9ine went and he did some major snitching to get out of prison on people that really don't appreciate being snitched on. And yet, I've never heard of him ever suffering anything really negative from that. Snitches get stitches unless you're Takeshi 6ix9ine? I don't know. Again, a weird thing to wake up thinking, because I don't care about his music. I mean, I listen to some rap, but I don't listen to him. Gotta love that. And checking the rest of my list here, I use the program Rough Draft, which is like 20 years old and hasn't been worked on for that long, but it is still an excellent word processing program. I have that with the text blown up real big so I can see it on my monitor. But I'm going to talk about this one just because I have been thinking about the various things on my cosmic horror stuff, checking my list there. One of the things I have is the pronunciation guide. Like, I went through and I figured what each letter, each consonant, each vowel would sound like. And there are no exceptions on this. Yep, it's a going there for no good reason. Where there is this Ur language that underlies reality. And there are exceptions to various things, but not pronunciation, because it is more than just like audio. We are only able to interact with about 30% of that actual language, because it is audio, it is visual, it is tactile, you can smell it, it has components to it that we don't even have the proper sensory organs to be able to detect this spoken language. So we only get about 25 to 30% of what is actually being given. But each one of the letters in the alphabet that I have come up with for this has a pronunciation that is set in stone. The A is an ah sound. An E is an A sound. The I is an E sound. The U is oo. And so it just goes on like that, constant. I tried to make it exotic when I was coming up with that, because there's the name Amigarazu, which is Ami, Amigerazu. The thing is, I was watching somebody play a video game last night that was about a Japanese yokai. little demon type thing, about a yokai called, well, it was spelled Shirime, and it's a really bizarre yokai. It's it looks like a person, except where their anus should be is an eyeball. And this yokai goes around and delights in frightening people by turning, spreading their buttocks, and then showing an eye where their anus should be, and just delights in frightening you. I looked at the name, Shirime, and I went, I bet that's pronounced Shirime. And when I went to the Japanese translation thing on that and hit the pronunciation, it was Shirime. Just like I had done with my language there. So yeah, a lot of it is exotic because apparently I based it primarily around Japanese sounds. I mean, there is the Japanese, I've got Amagaratsu, and it is spelled and sounds almost close to one of the Japanese, I can't remember if it's a god, but especially there's the one video game that I can't even remember the name of this one video game, but you were playing a wolf character who was like a manifestation of, it's pronounced like Amaterasu, but that's very close to Amagaratsu. So yeah, I really went and based that on a lot of apparent Japanese stuff to make it sound exotic. I mean, there's the characters of Asatarasi and Aktinaki, Nebukiro, Tamukonoso, and of course, Dread Amagaratsu. There's Hoki, and all of these various of them. There are 12 cosmic horrors. 13 actually, Dread Amagaratsu and her 12 children. Of her 12 children, I have named them all, but I have forgotten about 4 or 5 of them because I've never dealt with them. I know roughly what they are, but past that I don't really deal with them, and so I'm not really caring. I mean, even the one Aktinaki. Aktinaki is a cosmic horror more aligned with poisonous insect type things. That's all I know. That's all I know. Whereas other cosmic horrors like Tamukonoso, who is a large wolf-like being, well, yeah, this character runs with a pack throughout there is the Ungara, the Ungare, and the Ungaden, the 3 largest zones of the multiverse. Very hot and dense, slightly hot and dense, the cold and dark where we are. Out here, well, in here, the Ungare, Tamukonoso runs with a pack, and they run, and just run, and they run through worlds, all through universes. His pack follows him as he travels. And when I say him, I don't mean him. They are genderless. They have no sexes. They don't identify as anything that we would understand. They follow them. But they run into a world, they dash out of all of the forests in the world, and because running just takes energy, they run through the world and they eat every single person on that planet. Doesn't take long. And then they run to another world, and they continue doing that. They run through about 1,000 worlds a day, eating absolutely everyone they come across, and then they crash and just rest for about a day, during which, they do resting stuff, and then it's up and running again. They run for the pleasure of running. There is no future, there is no past, there is only now. And that's Tamukonoso. So they have a lot of backstory on some of them, whereas again, Aktinaki, poisonous things. Past that, who knows? And then of course, I want to talk about for a while the one cosmic horror, Hoki, because I talked about this a long time ago, so I want to mention it again now. There is, as I've said, there's the Ungara, this zone of the multiverse right next to the singularity. Very hot, very dense. We burn to just quantum ash, like, boom, instantly. The Ungare, which is, we could survive there for about anywhere from 1 to 5 years before the cancers that were growing within us would kill us. And then there's where we are, the Ungaden, the cold and dark. try and remember where I was even going with that. God, I love having ADHD. No, Hoki. Because we are out here in the cold and dark, there is actually another being that is exceptionally powerful. About as powerful, if not more, than an actual cosmic horror. This is a being that has taken pity on all of us, the Gokura, out here in the cold and dark. The Gokura are there are layers of power. When you're going upward, there are the Gokura, the endless, the numberless, us, prey. And then you go from Gokura to Gekire, Gekiri, Gekiru, which is little predator, predator, armored predator. Gokura. This being has taken pity on all of us out here in the Ungaden. This being is not just a being, it is powerful enough that it is also a location. It is Drame. And all of us out here, the Gokura in the cold and dark, we make a quantum conscious trip to the Draylands every night when we dream. Drame is a being and a location. When you are there, there are beings. These beings that live there love us as dreamers. Because as dreamers, they get to be whatever our dreams are telling us. So they get to be a vampire hunter, or they get to be someone chasing you through a forest, or they get to be all of these fascinating things as you dream in the Draylands. There's not really a civilization in the Draylands, though there are, as stated, intelligent beings, and they can gather in small groups. But they don't really form a civilization as we have, because why would they? What would they do? These are the Draylands. They are intensely in flux. When you are dreaming, everything changes around you. What you are seeing is what all of those beings that live there are also walking through as they are actors in your dream. So everything in the Draylands is fluid that way. For the beings that live there, everybody, even the dreamers, us, we have all what is known as a bachka. This is like your presence there. The stronger your bachka, the more the Draylands react to you. Like if you like sunrises and you have a very strong bachka, if everybody else around you doesn't like sunrises, but you have that stronger bachka, it's always going to be a constant sunrise. Because your will is being attended to by the Draylands because of your strong bachka. Now, if you are just a dreamer, you don't have a bachka because you can't use it. It's more of a bashka. That's the unconscious one. When you have these strong, vivid dreams, if you are a strong and vivid dreamer, you have a very strong bashka. If you can't remember your dreams or they're very mild, well, you don't. It's a very mild bashka. For those that are lucid dreamers, yeah, your bachka translates into bachka when suddenly you awaken. And you can interact with the Draylands as a conscious being. But the weaker your bachka, the more it's just you're at the will of the Draylands. The stronger your bachka, the more the Draylands are accommodating you. Boy, I love not being able to speak English. So there's a lot more, but the cosmic horror Hoki actually discovers this being. Not realizing what is happening, tears a hole into it to try and see what's happening within this realm. And when Drame screams in terror and agony, Hoki rapidly pulls back, understanding suddenly that now, I am not alone. I am not the only one. This is a being that's at least of equal to me, and I have hurt them. And Hoki is fascinated by the Draylands. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to talk more about that, because right now I'm going to open up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Actually, I already have. I'm just going to go through and thank whoever left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, it's habit, it's a form of stimming. So I can actually see. We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you, good to see you. 77 Arcturus, thumbs up, thank you, very, very much, greatly appreciated, and hope he smokes. We have Floramu, thumbs up, thank you, very, very, I'm checking to see what you were saying too. My eyes have stayed the same, just gotten worse, thank goodness that way. We have JAYY, greatly appreciate, thumbs up, thank you. We have Kenzie, greatly appreciate it. Chris, thumbs up and thank you. We have Beyond the Capsule, greatly appreciated. Miguel Angel MH, thumbs up. There is Anson, thumbs up and thank you. Nexar EH, greatly appreciated. And Stephen Blanchard, thumbs up, thank you, each and every one of you. And Nexar EH, yeah, today I am getting the number off the bottom of the laptop so I can send it to you. I am so sorry that I suffer from executive dysfunction. I try not to dog and beat up on myself for anything, but I am a human being, so yeah, I beat up on myself when I shouldn't. But thumbs up, thank you, each and every one of you that left me comments. You got me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. If only for a short time, if only in text, and I wish I could answer more comments. I fight through my executive dysfunction to answer the ones that I do. Thumbs up, thank you all, it is appreciated. Well, hokey smokes, I gotta walk to the hospital today. I feel intensely nervous because I always feel intensely nervous whenever I have an appointment. It is a break in routine, and so I feel nervous about it. So I'm going to be walking to the hospital today to get that. I'm going to be showing them my leg. I got to walk, and hopefully it's not raining, because if it is, my feet are going to be soaked when I get there. So yay. But still, that's just the way life is. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. And if you can't, please do not beat yourself up. Survival is important, and if you can't do important things, at least you live through the day. So, hopefully you have a great day today. I'm going to do what I can. So until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. And once again, yeah, I certainly could edit these parts out. I've gotten better. Not perfect, but a lot better at playing with the Share Factory editor off my PlayStation 4. So yeah, I could definitely cut these out.